to, or was that a may if you want to?
If you don't want to. Recording
Oh.
is in progress now. The window of opportunity is gone. The bus has left the building. Okay. So I will welcome you again. Welcome to our little improvised workshop of fun and confidence. I'd like to introduce my partner. This is Oscar. He is here with us today. I wanted him to later on today just sort of share a little bit about his journey and share a little bit about his confidence, because he's one of the bravest people I've ever met in my life. And I think sometimes just hearing another perspective, hearing another story can really inspire us into a place where we can take bolder moves in our own reality. So he is our special guest for today. And each of you are also special guests. So at any given point in time, if you have something you want to share, if you want to introduce yourselves now, if you want to make a point, whatever you want to do, as long as I'm not like in free flow, you can just gently be like, Han, hi, can I say something? Or you could just be like, hi, I'm saying something. That's confidence, right? This is what we're working with. So please just feel free to be yourselves, speak freely, be freely.
There's a raise hands if under the reactions. So if anyone wants to speak, maybe they can do take the reaction, so you can see it, and maybe you say, "Oh, your turn."
Perfect. Let's raise hands. Okay. Now that I've established the laws of the Zoom call, I just want to start with a little meditation or a little intention that we're going to set together, because I feel like the most important thing about feeling confident and being confident in life is the intention to which we're flowing through it, the intention to which we feel ourselves, and the intention we're moving through life with. The continual affirmation of who we are, right? Because nothing on this earth has innate meaning, like zero, nothing. It's just the meaning that we are assigning in the moment that translates our story, that translates our experience, that moves us forward in life. I can't remember who said it, but it's that quote about, it doesn't matter if you think you can do it or you can't, you're right. Who said that quote? Does anyone remember? I can't remember.
I just read that the other day, and I can't remember it either.
No, okay. Some very wise being said this, not my quote, but I completely agree with it. So it's like setting an intention before anything important, anything, even just like waking up in the morning, creating ritual around intention, for me has been the biggest life changer ever. Like, I think moving through the world consciously means that we get to choose the positives and the negatives. It doesn't mean that we move through life without positives and negatives, or without things that feel good or feel bad, like inside our bodies. We're always going to have that contrast. But the fact of the matter is, if we're intentional about this, like if my intention is in this moment for the highest good of all, that is all that will come through me in this moment for the highest good of all. That's my intention. It doesn't matter what comes out. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter if the internet cuts out halfway through. Maybe this wasn't meant to be shared right now. You know, there's all of these things that we feel like we should be able to control, but actually life has other plans. So as long as we hold a strong intention, that's our sense of identity. That's our sense of connection. And actually for me, that's the sense of connection to a confidence, you know, connection to an authentic version of me, because actually I'm not in charge. You know, I'm just a vessel.
Yeah.
Babe said this the other day. He was like, yeah, it doesn't matter when I sing, when I do these things, I'm just a vessel. Yeah. You know, I'm not the one performing. I'm not the one doing this. I'm not the one doing that. I'm the person experiencing it flow through me and move through me. Okay. So if we have a nice, safe, comfortable, pretty space, we can just gently close our eyes. And And we're going to take some deep breaths in through the nose and releasing through the mouth as if we're moving from the root. So using the whole body to breathe out from the root up. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling from the root. One more like this, really give it everything you've got. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the root. Gently let your spine elevate, stretch, move the body if you need to get comfortable. Just allow the energy to flow through you in the easiest way possible. Keeping a nice gentle breath in through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose and out through the nose. And gently placing 1 or 2 hands over the heart. Allowing the breath to fall into a rhythm that's comfortable for you. Maybe it's in through the nose and out through the mouth. Or maybe it's mouth breathing, using the whole body. But just focusing in on the feeling underneath your hands. Can you feel the pulse? Can you feel the heat? And what we might start to notice is how this feeling and this sensation does not come with words. Its natural state is a movement, an energy, a transaction almost, an out and in. And I'm just gonna set a little intention for us here, that everything is always working out for us, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like. In this moment and in all moments, everything is working out. Best case scenario. Big thank you to Heather Hoffman from Activation Vibration for that little affirmation that I've used pretty much every day of my life since I heard it. Check her out, she's amazing. But just really tuning in with that frequency. Feeling that best case scenario right now. This meeting, us connecting, us feeling, us allowing in this very moment is our best case scenario. We have that belief. We have that trust. And we're going to move from this space every day. Create ritual with this space every day. This is the intention. This is the intention. And when we truly connect to this intention, confidence is inevitable. Confidence is completely and utterly inevitable. So just taking some deep breaths, seeing how the chest, the heart space moves. And if possible, if you give me permission in this moment, I would love to send some love to each and every one of your heart spaces. From my heart to yours. If you accept, please just in your head or out loud say, I accept, I give permission. And try and breathe in to your heart space, breathing it in to the heart space. keeping a nice, even breath. Just allowing all the static energy to dissipate. Any feeling of discomfort or dis-ease in the body just gently melting away. Letting the judgments and opinions of the mind be just that. Judgments and opinions of the mind. They are not who we are. They are not what we are. They do not control. They just are. But this feeling that we're breathing into together right now, that's the closest to truth we get as humans. The feeling of our shared humanity. So just gently letting the energy move through your body, taking some nice deep breaths. We're gonna imagine some roots growing from the bottoms of our feet into the earth. If anyone's worked with me before, you already know that I love this. Rooting, 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 rooting into the earth. And really focusing on the feeling of letting any static energies move into the ground, into the earth beneath us. Anything in the body that's stuck or stagnant, just allowing it to slowly leave the body. And now at the top of the head, imagining a beautiful white light just entering into the body, moving all the way from the tippy top of the head down to the very bottom of the roots. Just keeping a nice gentle breath while we allow this to balance us, to connect us. Blessing and releasing all that no longer serves for the highest good of all. And so it is. Gently bringing awareness back to the heart space. Affirming, I am strong. I am confident. I am. I am. I am. Thank you so much for joining me on this little journey, energetic journey. I just would like us to slowly return to the room. So opening our eyes or rolling the shoulders, rolling the head. Welcoming Marie. Thank you for joining us. And just slowly letting your breath return to a consistent pace. One of the things that I've found really helpful in my own practice is just coming back to the breath always, whenever we return to a room, whenever we come back from a dream or a spiritual world or something. It's really important that we ground ourselves with our humanness, with our physicality. And the breath is just perfect. It's a consistent reminder. And so, I guess we shall start. I had a little plan for us today, despite my hilarious time malfunctions. So we were going to do a little connection meditation, and we were going to kind of talk a little bit about what is love, what is the experience of love, and how that relates to confidence. So how can we become more confident through our understanding of love, through our understanding of what it means to be human, essentially. And we're going to go into another discussion because I love to hear from you guys. I want to hear your perspectives, your feedbacks, your reflections, your wisdomous ways, because we learn together, right? I am no expert. We are all experts of our own realities, and sharing together, we get insight, we get connections that we wouldn't necessarily have made alone. So we'll move into that in a minute. I'm then going to share some embodiment exercises. We're going to do some energy alignments, just some little things that I've been feeling throughout the call or throughout this process to share and to like maybe transmute things for our future selves, I think is the most important thing that I would like to focus on today. So little embodiment practices that we can do ourselves maybe throughout the days to come. And then we've got guest speaker number 1, who will be answering a few questions that I have and also just sharing his journey. So I've called his little segment, or the segment, a journey from the street to the stage. So before I met him, he was living on the street, and now he performs on stages, performs on his music, and he's just the most incredibly confident person. His faith in himself, his faith in God, his faith in his path is probably unparalleled from my perspective. Physically meeting someone this brave, meeting someone this confident in themselves is unreal. It's unreal. So I'd love for you guys to be inspired and to feel his story with me. And yeah, we can all reflect together on some poignant moments in our own lives. And then at the end, a little invitation, depending on time. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm super excited to share some future plans with you. So if everyone is good, let's begin. I'm just gonna check. Okay, can everyone give me a thumbs up if you're all good to start? Thumb me. Thumb me. Okay, cool. Okay. We've done our meditation. This was a nice little excerpt that I found. It's from Sadhguru's Inner Engineering. I don't know if you've read his work before. It's from the chapter called A Four-Letter Word in Relation to Love. And the particular point of what I read here was how not only does it touch on the positive thinking that we're all sort of aware of, I think, in the spiritual community, that we can't bypass our emotions, we can't bypass the quote unquote negative aspects of life by bulldozing it with positive thinking or positive like dopamine releases. There has to be a level of balance and understanding between both aspects. And I think that this beautifully exemplifies in a much better way than I could ever say how positive thinking becomes a way of whitewashing or sugarcoating your reality, quote unquote Sadhguru. And I feel also he moves really beautifully into what love actually is. He's suggesting here, from my interpretation, that our limitless nature, the very essence of who we are, could not be defined by something so small as love. But as a human, as our human possibility unfolds before us, love is the greatest interpretation that we have of that energy. So I don't know if you guys would like a minute to read that, or I can send the slides later or send a clip later. But the particular part I would like to focus on is the center paragraph. Then there is the time-honored business of exporting human well-being to the heavens and claiming that the core of the universe is love. Love is a human possibility. If you need a refresher course, you can take these lessons from your dog. He is full of love. You don't have to go to outer space to know love. All these, I don't know how to say this, puerile? Thank you. Philosophies come from the assumption that existence is human-centric. This single idea has robbed us of all sense and made us commit some of the most inhuman and heinous crimes throughout history. These continue to perpetuate themselves to this very day. And I feel like, for me, this touched on something really powerful in the sense of having confidence in our humanness, having confidence in a shared humanity, I think is the most important thing to building a future where we can trust other beings to trust themselves, to trust ourselves to trust other beings. I feel like connecting to a shared humanness, connecting to connecting to the closest thing to oneness we have as a physical, tangible being, I felt was a great place for us to start this conversation. And so now, I would love to hear, what is confidence to you? What is confidence to you? Would anyone like to share? Phil, I see your face.
I think I want to share mine. I think I felt that confidence today. After we spoke last time, or I can't remember when after we had a little chat, something has been risen in me, and today I was like having, I don't know, something like spontaneous, and I reached out to an old friend that actually wanted to meet up with me, and like, well, that's good, girl, because today I can feel you're very confident in doing something spontaneous. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm like that. Just that you never saw it in me.
Spirit is playing. I love it.
Yeah. So actually, he suddenly asked me if I would be interested in like taking a trip somewhere, like go driving, ending maybe in Paris. Yeah.
Phil,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and I said, yeah, I can do that. And can it be like spontaneous? Yeah, sure.
Amazing.
Yeah, and then there's just before I got the link from you here, I got a message from another long-term friend that's suddenly messaging me and asking me how I'm doing, and that he's going good now, and he will soon come to Denmark to meet me.
Ooh.
And how about being? I find it very funny. You like in your plan it says love, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, what's going on here?
Oh yeah.
And he was like, you need to have sweet love. And I was like, what's sweet love? I haven't experienced that, so I don't know what that is. So I find it quite a little funny you mention it intentionally.
100%. 100%. Thank you so much for sharing
This is a plan. Yeah, this is how it should be, right?
It should be, yeah. And I think what I love the most, I mean, I love everything about what you've just shared personally, but the thing that I love, the thing I love the most is the fact that it reflects perfectly what I felt I was trying to share, in the sense of when we have a confidence that everything is working out for us, that we are in the right place at the right time, when these things are actually aligning for us, not against us, then the love has so much more room to come in. And I mean, like, love from cats, love from dogs, love from ourselves, love from each other, love from our parents, love from our friends, love from our communities, and physical, actual, romantic love is just in that. It's natural, it's innate, it's inevitable. So it doesn't matter what unfolds through But the fact of the matter is there is potential, and there is an openness, a curiosity. Confidence directly, for me anyway, links to having a curiosity about love, about possibilities, about adventures. It's like, oh, what if I just randomly go to Paris? Oh, that feels good.
Exactly.
Oh, delicious. Why not?
Sweet love.
Sweet love. Why not? Why don't we deserve that? You know, having also asterisk a confidence in our deserving that this is what we need, what we want, what we allow in our lives. You know? There's been countless times with this beautiful human that I have had to really reaffirm to myself, and he has had to reaffirm to me, you deserve that love. You deserve to be loved like that. You deserve to have this. You deserve to have that. Why stop that? Why feel like you don't deserve that? Because that was the past.
Exactly.
This is now.
Yeah.
Would anyone else like to share?
I think I have something to kind of piggyback off of that. I think what I've been experiencing when we talk about deserving, because I'm kind of going through a breakup right now, I'm under the impression that whenever I'm finding myself telling myself the story that I was deserving all of these terrible interactions that I was dealing with, that I was facing. And I think that I'm trying to counterbalance that because I know that I deserve love. But there's, I guess, maybe something that's been telling me that I've had such a good life and that I've done so many people wrong in my past that these shitty interactions that I've had in the last year or so are kind of like this karmic catch up to like, well, this is how it felt. And in so many ways, I'm like, I finally know what it is to be on the other side of that, spectrum, where I'm doing like the chasing and I'm doing the hurting. And I feel like I've learned a lot of lessons from that, but I kind of feel like there's almost like a danger in saying you get what you deserve, because I've been finding myself almost in this like hedonistic, like self-punishing mode.
Firstly, thank you for sharing. That was incredible. It was beautiful to hear your heart. It was beautiful to hear your experiences and your expressions of this, and the way that you're reflecting on your past, the way that you're reflecting on aspects that are difficult for us to face in ourselves, and also are very, very, very relatable. Very relatable for all of us. But for what I would love to share in this moment is we reassess our definition of deserve. Because if we look at life in a kind of capitalist type mentality of what you give is what you get, like I give this so I get this, it's a very harsh energy. If we look at it with maybe a more Eastern philosophy type feel to it, it becomes more of a dance. You know, it becomes more of a dance. I think in the West specifically, again, this is a perspective, but just something that I feel called to share. It's that we have a very harsh version of what reality should look like, what karma looks like, right? Because in many philosophies, karma in and of itself is not something to be seen as bad or good. You know, it's the interpretation of our mental mind that says this is a bad thing and this is a good thing, and that becomes the root of the suffering, the judgment of the karma, the judgment of the repercussion. Speaking just really quickly, Phil, I see your hand. I just want to share something really quickly and we'll come to you. It's that I, through my own experiences, have also felt those rebalancing of emotions. For a very long time, I would run away from most intimate relationships And I was then faced with someone one day who mirrored every aspect of my darkness in the most painful way for me physically possible. And it was a really, really harsh wake-up call. I was surrounded in his energy for at least a year and a half. And I ended up coming out of that experience having a full breakdown of everything in my life, everything. You know, everything had built up: my work, my love life, my friendships, my family, my personal world, my inner reality, my addictions, my drug habits, my smoking habits. Everything accumulated at this one fucking point where I basically tried to kill myself. And depending on which version of reality we look at, I either did or did not kill myself. There is a gap in my memory as to whether I jumped or not. So there are these moments in our reality where we assign so much meaning. You know, we assign so much meaning to, what does this experience mean? Did I deserve that? Did I deserve this? You know? And again, I'm not saying that's bad or wrong in any way, shape, or form. I think it's really, really natural, because it's allowing the brain to tire itself out. It's allowing the brain to see that there is no logical answer. There is no solution that we find. It is just the releasing of this energy saying, okay, wow, this happened. Okay. Wow, okay, that happened. Okay, that didn't really feel great for me. I can be more conscious of that now. Like the understanding in our mental faculties of what we like to experience and what we don't like to experience directly flips us. It says, right, we can take a step in this direction next time this happens. And building the confidence in ourselves, in our connection to heart, in our connection to love and spirit, and our ability to learn, we are then saying, I can release that from the mind, I can release that from the story, and just be here in this moment, you know, be here with what's in front of me now, to take steps in slightly different ways. Maybe we repeat cycles, maybe we say the same things, or maybe someone familiar from the past comes back, but that actually we're a different person in this moment. And it doesn't matter what that necessarily looks like. It's the feeling behind it, that you are stronger because of this, that we are stronger because we've experienced this moment now, that we get to connect and feel and allow these things to move through us, allow these emotions to just be that, you know, they are just emotions, and they are just stories, and they are important, and they are beautiful, and they are creative, and they are divine. And I'm so grateful that you felt called to share with us in this moment. So thank you. I'm complete. Bill, if you would like to add anything, go right ahead.
Who was that person that was on just now? I didn't recognize the name.
My name is Kelsey. Hi, Kelsey here.
Oh, okay, hi. Can I say something to what you said? I understand truly what you're going through. I've been through that shit before too. But I would like to invite you, if you will, to reflect on where in you have you ever felt unloved? It may come from childhood, because I'm getting a kind of feeling in your words that you're not deserving the love you're saying, has something to do with maybe how you feel about yourself, but maybe it's also something you're picking up from the environment that you're thinking it's yours. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's a very astute observation, because I'm around my parents right now. So I think that's somehow very interconnected, that when I somehow interact with them, it brings up these older feelings of inadequacy that I've spent so much time rebuilding outside of that. But eventually we have to face those initial relationships that are the building blocks of who we are. So I think, you know, it is time to come home and face those kinds of conversations. So thank you for giving me that reflection.
But also do a lot of self-love to yourself. Do what makes you happy. Doesn't matter what it is, just what makes you happy.
Thank you.
Thank you for your story.
Yeah.
I really relate to that experience, actually, in the sense of, well, I think it was Ram Dass said, if you think you're enlightened, go back home and live with your parents for a week.
Yeah.
And it's like we are innately triggered by these situations because they are our first examples of quote unquote love and quote unquote life, and how we relate to other people, how other people relate to us, and maybe even the internalization of the experience as a child is resurfacing, but we don't necessarily have the right words to articulate what it is we're experiencing or what we're feeling. And I think sometimes just giving it attention, just giving it the time and the space for this part of you to see that it's important, like you've brought it into this conversation. You've brought it into a conversation about confidence. You've brought it into a conversation about love. Like you've just committed an act of self-love by raising your own awareness and other people's awareness. This aspect of all of us, because we've all experienced these feelings, or not specifically this feeling, but we can relate in our own capacity to these experiences and these emotions and these energies. And all of us have an opportunity to reflect, to revisit, to re-love, to reintegrate this aspect of all of us, all of ourselves, and to show it that extra bit of care and love that it really deserves. You know, the child inside, the lover, the inner lover, the inner actually really confident part of us. You know, a lot of kids are innately confident, and tapping into this frequency of who we were as a child can bring us a huge amount of confidence to express, to share, to be authentic with our emotions, to say, I'm unhappy right now and I'm going to share that. Or like, I'm really happy right now and I'm not going to curve that because I'm worried about what someone else is going to think about me. What are you showing, Phil? Oh, you're lost in a child. I love the synchronicities. This is just magic.
This is actually a good book to read, and it have like some things you can do. I don't know if the others can see. Healing your inner child. So if you can't go back home, you can actually do it on your own.
Magic. Could you maybe send that to me, or send that in the chat? Just the name and the author. That would be really great. Thank you so much.
I've been on this book for like 2 weeks now. I'm only on chapter 2 because I'm going through it in the process. You know, we take
Love that.
We do it in the time we need to do it.
I agree. I've been reading Mike Dooley's, what is it called? Infinite Possibilities for over a year now, because I've been reading chapter by chapter by chapter by chapter, and I've been revisiting things and highlighting things and underlining things, because it's like the way that we've kind of been programmed to consume is really fascinating. It's like, consume all of the books, consume all of the stories at once. You must read every single bestseller that there ever was. And it's like, oh no, I'd rather just enjoy this one because it's really relating to my life at this moment. Like, thanks.
Yeah, exactly.
I support your decision there. Take your time, enjoy that. And I might do the same actually with that book, because I feel like I can always, my little child inside, she's very present in most days, right? But I mean, I can always send her more love.
Oh.
Would anyone else like to share anything?
I think Erica wants to share something. Is she still there?
Erica, I'm so sorry. I know that you're getting ready at the same time. Bless her. She is such a queen of a woman. She's on here at the same time as life is happening.
You are so amazing. You're so sweet. Can you guys hear me? I haven't
Yeah.
turned on my mic yet. Okay. So I just wanted to share a quick little story with you guys because I just think it's so synchronistic to what's going on today. So I have always dealt with like the fear of rejection. I would say that's been a big one for me. And I think that that had kept me back from doing a lot of things in my life. Like even on a subconscious basis, I think that I always kind of kept myself contracted or kept myself less open because of that fear of rejection. And today, I guess just a little background. I'm an astrologer, and me and a friend do a podcast together. And today I was going to check on this YouTube channel, and there was a comment down below. It said something like along the lines of like how I appear to be very egotistical with all of my I statements, and that they prefer my partner's down to earth approach much more than me. Like I should just get off the podcast. And I sat with this for a second, and I was like, this is it. This is it right here. This is that thing that I was like so terrified of for so many years. And I took like a really deep breath, and I realized this I guess paradox, right? When it comes to like who I truly am as a person, because a long time ago, my fear of rejection is actually probably what led me to do all of the reading and research and becoming as knowledgeable and as like expert as I could with my craft, right? And so back then it was like, well, if I spoke about these things that I didn't know enough about, then people would say I was ignorant, and they would say I was fake, and they would say I was this, that, and the other. So what do? I become an expert, and now I'm being called egotistical. And do you get what I'm saying? I guess is what I'm trying to say is that you're always damned if you do and damned if you don't. Like if you choose to express yourself for who you truly are, and you are always going to be met with rejection. And so I guess one thing that was cool for me today was that that rejection that I had received didn't like crush me or cripple me like it would have in the past. And I was very proud of my response and my reaction to this thing that would have been a trigger. And I guess to like when it comes to the word confidence, I think that I am feeling today that that's really what it's all about. It's like how you face being rejected by others, and how you stand confident despite that. And I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to say.
Gorgeous. Every last
There's a
word.
lot of that. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I also just wanted to say I've learned a powerful tool of responding to things like that with thank you for the feedback. Because I feel like everything that like, even if it is meant to be this diss, and what's happening now is that this anonymity that people are, hiding behind on the internet, it gives people like gumption and audacity that they just wouldn't have had in face-to-face interactions. But it's actually such an opportunity to be, learning about like, okay, this is probably what somebody is thinking times 150. Like they probably really aren't thinking that to the extent that they have typed it out. But at the same time, it's like, well, we wouldn't have had this opportunity to like peel back the inside of somebody's brain and like learn about how I'm coming off and how I'm being perceived. But thank you so much for sharing that and having that insight to give to us.
No problem. And yeah, I completely agree. I think that I've noticed that too out there in the collective, like the difference, I guess the stark difference between people that do their thing and then they are met with rejection, and you can kind of just like feel the triggered in their reaction, like they have to kind of build up some kind of war or some kind of army against this rejection. And same, like I might have been that way as well like 5-6 years ago, but today when I looked at that, I was just like, I really appreciate my partner's down to earth approach too. And I know that I am not for everyone, more with those I statements, right? That you were so ticked off by. So yeah, I don't know. It's cool.
You're also a reflector. I'd just like to add that in. So let's just move into that space really quickly, because as a reflector, we are designed to reflect on life from an I perspective, and also any, you know, interesting reflections from another being's perspective, we take as feedback 100%. Kels, I love that idea, and I love that we can be soft enough and open enough and honest enough with ourselves that these things can be taken as feedback, and we can be a little aware of that, maybe even aware of the judgment we have towards other people with that egotistical mentality or something. I think for me that would be also relevant. Like sometimes I can hear someone's tone of voice and think, oh, maybe they sound a little arrogant, and then I check myself and I'm like, maybe that's just my perception, you know, maybe I'm the one that's perceiving them to be arrogant because I feel insecure compared to this level of confidence. So it's like when someone divinely gifts us this sort of criticism, or all of us in this moment can now reflect with you. I've also seen your podcast and I think that the way that you share is incredibly humble. So it's interesting how other people can have completely different reflections based off of where they are as beings. I would also like to add, I know that we don't need to validate anyone else's experience or expressions, but the way in which you move through the astrology is incredibly embodied. And I think that that's what makes it so powerful. That's what makes it so relatable for someone like myself to watch you and hear your reflections. Because, yeah, I feel connected to you as a person. I feel connected to the stars through my body, through my actions, through stories and experiences. And yeah, a lot of people like that, you know. It's a really, really beautiful story that you shared, and I loved every single synchronicity, every single moment that you shared, because I think that expresses how confident you truly are as a person now, and that's incredibly inspiring.
Oh, goodness, Hannah, thank you so much. You always make me feel so lit up, but I am seriously stuck on this one sentence that you just said about how we feel like our worth might not match up to the confidence. Because sometimes I think, I don't know, I think you just touched on something that's so very deep. Like sometimes we try to be like, it's like that fake it till you make it, I guess. You know, we try to be like, I'm going to step into this role of confidence. But then when we are mirrored with that, we realize that like inwardly, we don't quite match up. Like we don't quite feel like we're worth the amount of confidence that we are trying to exude. And I think that that is a big deal with the whole confidence game. So I don't know, just that was really, really beautiful. And I just wanted to point that out.
Thank you. Because you're right. You're really right. And I think, yeah, we can just put a pin in that concept as something we are aware of now, right? Like, and maybe we've always been slightly aware, but when we draw the attention to it, when we allow that space and presence with the fact that we are allowed to, in this moment, feel insecure, but presenting a confident version of ourselves. We're allowed that. We're also very allowed to feel really confident right now and to just let that flow through us. And, you know, if we appear arrogant, if we appear full of ourselves, whatever we appear like to other people is okay, because we are 5 steps ahead of being insecure of where we were. And there are so many layers on this journey, I feel like, in every aspect. Like, so I was saying to Oscar before about his performing, like, instead of us as beings focusing on being confident at a skill or learning something new or even transferring something along, it's like focusing just solely on the feeling of confidence, like just the feeling. Doesn't matter what we're doing. Maybe we're reading a book and we're really comfortable and confident that we can turn the pages, you know, that's really very confident. You know, babies don't feel confident about walking, and yet all of us have this innate ability to walk very well. And, you know, we can be confident with our walking. So it's like, where are we so confident we're actually not even appreciating what it is that we're doing that we once couldn't do? Writing, reading, speaking, listening, connecting, expressing our feelings, starting a podcast, talking to our friends, sharing on a live call, you know, doing all of these things. Like, these are so powerful in comparison to where we were. And I think that what's really beautiful, especially in the reflector type community, is how often we are gifted the chance to reflect on our confidence and reflect on how far we've come, reflect on where we want to go. And it's really no one else's business, right? Like, how How much can we believe in ourselves innately? How much can we believe so much it doesn't matter what anyone else says about our dream, about our expression, about what feels good for us right now? And I know that sometimes I've really found it difficult not to hear other people's criticisms or not feel their criticisms whilst I'm expressing. Because for me, it's so innate. It's like, oh, I can feel that this is going to be judged. I can feel that this is going to be taken in the wrong way. But I just don't care anymore, you know? And it's actually like not even allowing that into my awareness over and over and over and over. The confidence gets stronger. Like thinking of a liquid, thinking of a juice, Robinson's juices. Don't know why Robinson's, they're not sponsoring me. Think of a juice, right? If we're putting in like a certain amount of juice, after a certain amount of time, it doesn't taste like water. It doesn't taste clear. It doesn't taste of something. And if we then start putting another juice in, depending on how much juice we put in, the flavor is going to change. And one flavor will be more dominant than the other. So when we look at confidence as just like a dilution process or a concentration process, depending on which perspective you'd rather have in this context, it's like we can choose to keep adding more of what fuels us to be confident. We can choose the people, places, spaces, environments, thoughts, habits that really connect us in with why we're confident and why we should be confident and why it's so very necessary that we are sharing our authenticity and we are sharing our beautiful voice and our expertise with the stars, with our hearts, with our lives. You know, that's just my perspective. Would anyone like to add anything?
I want to say just something short about what Erica said about the what was it? The person that wrote to her through the podcast, the comments. Could it be like the person's perspective is what they're talking about themselves because they're jealous that it's like the energy of jealousy that comes in that they cannot do what she's doing. So they're trying to project something that she's wrong because she's like in her authentic self and they cannot be like that. So they're reflecting that from her, but in a space where Erica is, or Erica, you are in, that rejection is a big deal for you at some point. You're still in the healing process of that. You get triggered by that. If it makes sense what I'm saying.
Yes, no, completely. Let me see if I can do this.
Yeah, see you now.
Oh, hi. It doesn't show that I'm on, but whatever. I'm ready.
I can see you.
So yeah, no, 100%. I think that's actually why I brought it up because
Yeah.
I think that sometimes rejection is in the way of confidence. And the ironic thing about it is that the more you step into your confidence, the more you're going to be met with rejection.
Yeah.
And subconsciously, I always knew that. So I avoided it. And now that I'm done avoiding it and stepping into it, I am just kind of being affirmed, I guess, that I was right all along and feeling gratitude that I did the work that I did.
Exactly.
To get me here so that way it is not like, because like I guess what I'm saying is that like 5 years ago that comment would have crippled me, you know. It would have really hurt, and it doesn't as much now. So I think that was just a cool affirmation on where I'm at on my journey, but also just a reminder that like I would love to share with other people that I don't know, I guess just that how much just something that seems as simple that I'm talking about it right now, but it's really not. It can really hold people back for years and years.
Yeah,
so.
I get you. I understand that process. I just thought of something, then it went away. Maybe you don't need it now.
Sorry.
But no. It was when you were talking, like my head is like going through a lot of things and I process what you're saying So I'm reflecting too, because I'm also a reflector. And the way I see things, like recently through some experience I've had, I can see a little similarity, just like in a different scene, that the lighter, oh, now I know what I was supposed to say. The brighter we get, the more the more we attract the one down there that wants us to bring them up, but they don't know how to do it. So because they're still hurting, they try to hurt you. Understand?
Yes.
So the higher level of conscious we are the lower conscious people, they are like seeking up to the light and wanting to like reach the light, but don't know how. So they're like say things like disgusting things, and if we are not aware in the moment, we will take it personal maybe. And instead of say, oh, I now get you, I understand where you are, maybe I can help you, maybe I cannot.
Well, I think that too was a really, thank you for saying that, because that was actually something I had meant to say in what I originally said, is that as a reflector, and I actually even made a post in the reflector group about this because of how like just it was to my head.
Yeah.
But I think that like objectivity that you speak of, where we can kind of step out, that's such a reflector thing, because we are able, it feels to me anyway, that we are able to be almost anything and
Yeah.
have any perspective and, you know, feel any kind of feeling, like all the things, right? And so we have to kind of step into this world of objectivity when we look at these things happening, and then we can kind of see the truth in what's happening, you know? But I do realize that that whole damned if we do, damned if we don't thing for reflectors especially seems to be very true, because we are a paradox, you know? Like I said, I can be humble and down to earth, and I can be confident and expert advice, you know, I can be both. And so no matter what, I'm going to trigger someone who doesn't like either of those two roles. So it's just, it is what it is, I guess, you know?
Exactly. But I think because we are so few in the world, according to the majority of the population in the world, we are still in the place of where we are supposed, maybe not, I may be wrong, to teach out of our experience of what we know. Because we are, well, like Hannah told me the other day, that actually helped me a lot, that I'm serene. What was that? Am I pronouncing right, Hannah? I'm serene. I'm light. And the light always attracts the darkness, no matter what. But the darkness doesn't always understand how to react or not to react in any manners of way.
I love
Does this
that.
make sense?
Yeah, it's balance. It's cosmic balance. It's the laws of the universe. It's the yin yang.
Exactly.
It's the Tao. It's the balance of the universe. It's like, if we are all a concept of oneness, essentially, which we are, as a planet, as a species, as a galaxy, as a cosmic void of whatever the fuck we are all particles that were once a oneness, and they have split interdimensional being across spaces and times. So if something happens to one cell, it's happening to the other cell too.
Exactly.
But we're all on different timelines, we're all in different spaces, different awarenesses, different this, different that. And we are returning, I guess, to a point in our own cycle where at some point we were this level of consciousness with this person. And we have become almost like a futuristic self. Not that it's that simple, it's not that simple, but you know, the fact that we are a mirror of the energy of which they are moving towards, or embodying more of, choosing to embody more of in that moment and in future moments for their timeline.
Thank you.
For us, you beautifully. Thank you so much for sharing that, because I think it's really important that we remember the big picture as well. Like, the fact of the matter is, we do have these very personal journeys and stories and histories that are incredibly relevant for how we can grow as beings. But there's also this big cosmic dance of understanding that we have no idea about. and that we're only just touching upon certain things in quantum physics, in particles, in even the yogic traditions. We don't have access to all of this information because it's accessed through your consciousness.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so that there's so much possibility for the cosmic dance with and in of itself. Like it's basically inevitable that once your frequency raises, you have a level of responsibility to be a compassionate and patient person with everyone on that path, because we are all doing the best we can with the tools we've been given. Some of us have been gifted incredibly sharp minds. Some of us have been given the incredible gift of action. Some of us have been given extrasensory perceptions that we can feel and see and smell other people. You know, we can like really work with our strengths, but it's like the continual cultivation of patience, of understanding, of love with these beings who are in a different place. They have different skills. They are meant for different things. Like, what's that quote again? If we judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, then it's always going to fail. Like that kind of vibe. We are so unique as beings. I know some people will say, no, we're all one and we all have this. We do. We are all a shared humanity. But we are like, if we think about a dance of ants, right? And every ant has a purpose. And one ant's going to go over here to get some food. One ant is going to go over here to get some twigs or whatever. I don't know what ants do, to be honest, for example. But, you know, like they all bring something to the table and they're all working in unification based off of their own intuition and their own instinct. And I feel like the level of judgment that we have and is being mirrored to us in our reality doesn't necessarily mean it's our judgment. It's just that we are having patience with those that are judging. We are having patience with those that feel so insecure and so desperate for some level of control in their lives that they have to judge everyone and everything around them to feel better. And I know that because I came from a family with peace and love. I love them so much that really judge the world, really forcibly judge the world around them. And it's protection. It's a way of making ourselves feel bigger by putting someone else down.
Yeah.
And the true reflection of confidence, the true reflection of consciousness is saying, I am who I am in this human form and I'm bloody brilliant. I don't need to compete with anyone. I can let everyone say their piece. I can let everyone have their saying and their opinions and their judgments and whatever. And I can say, no, I'm still fucking brilliant. This person is also really fucking brilliant. Like, wow, I can admire this in them and I want to cultivate more of this in me. And it's like inspiration. Like, that's the level we're working towards. And it's a practice, right? Like sometimes, you know, we find ourselves getting jealous of something, or we find ourselves feeling insecure about something. That's so fucking normal to judge, to feel like we need to put someone else down to feel better. Like, it's so normal. It happens all the time with people on the street, and I can feel it happening. You can see it around you. It's like, whoa. But it's not necessary. It's just, it's a habit, and habits are just thoughts and behaviors that are repeated again and again and again over time. So sometimes it takes a little time or awareness to change that cycle.
Yeah.
I'm going to really quickly, my computer screen has had a bit of a moment. Oh dear. Oh dear. Share. Yay. Okay, I think it was just for me. I'm not sure if that was just me that was having the problem.
I think it was just you.
Yeah. Does anyone have anything else to add, or are we happy to move ahead? Unfortunately, my videos have all paused, so I would need verbal affirmations of if you want to say something. Okay.
Erica.
Oh, Erica?
She's gone.
I think she did have a meeting at 1:30. I'm not sure what the time is now.
Oh.
Sorry, guys, I missed whatever was said, and then I just heard my name. What happened?
Oh. You need to see the replay again.
No, we were just asking if anyone wanted to add something. But no, it's perfect. Divine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, my computer screen is completely frozen, so we're going to have patience with me. Can you see embodiment exercise on the screen?
Yeah.
Delightful. Okay, so is everyone in a relatively comfortable space? Can we close our eyes comfortably? Can we express, share, change with movements and energies in this moment? Are we all feeling safe to do so?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to take the silence as yes, because everyone is frozen on my screen. Okay, let me see.
We're in the frozen timeline.
It's honestly, this is one of those real confident moments where I'm going to perform with complete trust that what I'm seeing is not what you're seeing. Okay. So we're just going to start by closing our eyes once more. And I'd like you to really feel into the body in this exercise. Just moving, stretching, whichever way feels good, like head rolls, arm stretches, back twists, shoulder rolls. Ooh, I'm having some delightful clicky moments. I'm really breathing in and out through the nose as deeply as we can, trying to keep a continual breath moving. It doesn't have to be forceful in terms of speed, but just in terms of power, in terms of force that we're giving it. Just gently focusing on the heart space, allowing this to move throughout the body, expanding the heart as we breathe around the body. A few more like this. And on the next inhale, just really holding your breath at the top. Allowing yourself to focus around the body and the light-headedness, the light bodiness that arises from this sensation, just allowing it to move throughout the body. And gently exhale when you're ready. Hold at the top. Just gently finding your own rhythm, becoming confident with your breath. And we're going to do one together. This is the last one like this, so please give it everything you've got. If you have your microphone on, I'd love to hear the sound of your breath. So we're just going to breathe all the way in through the nose and hold. Pat, pat, pat the chest. Hold. And gently breathing out all that no longer serves, leaving only our confident bodies. Okay, so what I'm really feeling in our collective in this moment in time is to work a little with our legs. Now, the reason the legs are important energetically speaking is because they are our greatest connection to the earth. Keeping a clear passage of our legs is really important in terms of the connection we have to the earth, but also our ancestry. So if we're carrying with us patterns from the past, things that link us to the past, and maybe change what our best case scenario might look like if we were to hold on to that heart, that connection, that energy specifically, we can clear and add light, add love, and assist certain energies to move through us in a really clear and concise way. So what I'd love is if everyone can open their eyes, but just sort of keeping this meditative space inside of you. So finding a gentle focus, maybe lowering the eyes below so you can see the legs and the knees. Maybe we want to give them a little bit of love, like a little massage, or just stroking the knees, stroking the legs. Keeping a gentle breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Just sharing a little love with the knees, focusing on the knees. And we're going to just imagine wind moving through our legs. So if we imagine our breath is the cultivation of this wind, we're going to take a nice inhale. And with the exhale, just imagining air moving from our hips all the way out the bottoms of our feet in a really swift and fast motion. Like so. And just in your own time, allowing 3 or 4 these breaths. Giving the little toes and feet a little wiggle. Bringing our attention down to them. You feel resonant with a little massage or a little touch of the bottoms of the feet, just to open up that connection to the earth. I would really recommend it. Not just because it feels delicious, but it does feel delicious. Keeping a nice, even breath. And we're just going to connect to those roots that we sent into the earth earlier. And take another deep breath in, imagining the wind drawing into our bodies, ready to send all the way down into the earth, into the roots. Taking a nice deep breath in. And slow exhale all the way down out the bottoms of the feet, into the roots, into the earth. 2 more like that in your own time. Gently bringing the breath back to normal. And maybe coming back into the body a little, bringing the awareness wherever needs your attention in this moment. And using our innate confidence, our innate intuition in this moment. I'd love us to bring presence to a part of the body that most needs our attention. So really drawing the attention inwards as if we've breathed in all of the spirit around us. We are so inside our bodies in this moment. Just allow your confident awareness to guide us through our bodies, where is best serving us in this moment, to give our loving, present attention. And I'm going to give you a few minutes here to just explore. Keeping a gentle breath in and out. Slowly just affirming, I am strong. I am strong. I am strong. I am confident. I am confident. I am confident. I am. I am. I am. And so it is. We will gently take our hands to prayer position at the heart. Little breaths, nice and even. Keeping this power we've found inside, that we've reminded ourselves of inside, I should say. We're just going to really, really slowly open our eyes. Or if your eyes were open, raising the eyes. I seem to have naturally closed mine in the process. I'm just taking some nice breaths now to kind of translate what we found into our physical world and our expression. Almost imagining an anchor of this energy somewhere in the body that you feel resonant with, maybe your heart, your third eye, your root, the base of your feet. And just knowing that we can come to this place wherever we are, whoever we are, whenever, wherever. We're meant to be together, to quote Shakira. And just really gently allowing the body to move how it wants to move. You want to roll your shoulders or your head, wiggle your fingers, the toesies, whatever you want in this moment. Now, I am going to open this call on my phone because I actually want to see you guys. I don't just want to see my frozen screen. So bear with me for 1 minute or 30 seconds watch this. Yeah. No, this is okay. Right. Okie dokie. So, does anyone have any reflections or anything that they'd like to share with their embodiment, or any questions about like maybe how to practice this in the future, or yeah, anything that you'd like to speak into it? No. ¿Todo bien?
No one wants to say anything?
So if you would like to, Phil, please go ahead.
Yeah. I've find it very funny, this meditation, because I'm like way past where you like guiding through. Just like where I'm start massaging my foot, my legs, and you were still in the beginning of the meditation, and then suddenly you're saying about the legs and the ancestors, and I'm like, okay.
This is a theme with us, Phil. This is the second time this has happened. You're just like speed receiving the data codes.
Yeah.
This happened with
So,
us before.
yeah, so I start laughing because I'm like, what the hell?
No, brilliant. I mean, everyone has their own experience, right? And I think that what's important is having the confidence to move through things in our own speed, in our own way, with our own our own guidance, our own intention. Like what works for one person will be different for another. Yeah, it's like really beautiful, I think, to have different experiences and to be able to share, to reflect on that together. So thank you. I love it.
But I can also feel, I don't know if it's me, I'm not quite sure if it's me, but I'm having a kind of back pain. So I'm not sure if there's someone in the environment here that is having some kind of back pain.
Yes. I think I understand maybe that everyone will have a resonation in their body in some way, shape, or form. The back specifically can represent like how supported we are in life.
Yeah.
And also how we have our own central column, right? We have our own physical awareness of something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess if anyone would like to share from that point of the back, please go ahead right now. We'll just use that as a little brain, a little brain momentum. And if not, I can say a little something.
I was literally making an appointment with my chiropractor, like literally, like I thought I had to email them a reply back. So I did like right before that meditation. So
Stunning.
Oh my God.
Stunning. You are seen, you are felt, and you are heard, Kelsey.
Yeah. Can I ask where in the back you're having pain? Because I feel like it's more in the middle, more on the right side.
yeah, it's my right shoulder blade. That's
Oh my
always
God.
an issue.
Now I'm getting like, my hair is like raising.
It's one of the main points that I've been getting migraines that like start on the right shoulder blade and like work their way up. So it's been something I've been really working on for the past like 3 months maybe, because they've been so bad lately.
Oh.
Also, I would just like to add really quickly that the thyroid system is stored down the back. So
Yeah.
if we have like, just from my experience with my thyroid anyway, it's like when I used to get really bad headaches, there would be an inflammation in my thyroid system. So it would be like down the back of the neck, and this like all the way down the back. It also moves down to the legs as well. So it's like yeah, it can be kind of like a system that if it has a block specifically, it stores everything up. Like, I mean, I'm much more inclined towards working with energy before chiropractors or anything like that, but I know that they have an incredible way of getting to the source. So I'm sure that you're in the exact right, what's the word? Path, the exact right journey to sort it out. But yeah, I definitely know that we can really feel where in the body we store the most tension, and it always, from my understanding and my experience, has a direct correlation with a certain belief, a certain perception, a certain emotion, a certain event, something that's happened in our lives that's really caused us to change. You know, it's like the back is the support of who we are. It's what supports us, who supports us, when we feel supported, how we feel supported. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting correlations with back problems, and like the general symbolism, like anything to do with Louise Hay. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Louise Hay, but yeah, Louise Hay is just a sensation. You know, she really relates the symbolism of the body with the emotional world and what we can say and affirm to ourselves to like change that a little bit. But yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah. Well, I'm a massage therapist. Where do you live?
I live in all over. My feet are on fire, so I live on in the United States on the west.
Oh, that's far away.
Come to me. Come to still heal me.
Because I'm a massage therapist and I work with a lot about treatments of the body. Is exactly what you're talking about. What you're having is like ascension in your body. That's the consciousness awareness that you're feeling physically in your body, the headaches. It's the downloads you're getting to be more conscious of yourself. And when it's in the middle of the back, it's about being responsible for yourself, self-care, self-love, if you understand. So
yeah.
I think it's related to what we already spoke of earlier. You need to like love yourself much more. Embody the self-care of yourself. Don't be relying on others to take care of you, but take care of yourself, because if you cannot take care of yourself, how can you take care of others? Does that make sense?
Yeah. It definitely started about 2 months ago when I started to have breakups.
And right there where in the back you're hurting, it's a lot about kind of emotions. It's related to frustrations, anger. If you can relate to that, it may be not now, but it maybe has been in the past, that has been stored in your nerve system.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah. So the nerve system is like saying, now I don't need that. That's negative. That's get out. I don't need that. So that's the warning in your body telling you to be more aware and do something about it.
Thank you.
I actually just wrote a blog today article about connecting the body and mind with the emotions we feel.
Oh, you should share that in the chat.
Yeah, please, that would be great, Phil.
Thank you.
Sorry, yeah, like I've got so many screens now because it's just freezing and I don't know where to look. I'm like checking.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. That is now frozen. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we're looking at.
Yeah. What have you got on your screen, my friends?
Right now we see a journey from the street to the stage.
Divine.
And then we can also see a couple of random pictures.
Yeah.
A couple of random pictures. Oh, at the bottom of the screen, right?
Oh,
yes, but I think they're out of the way, so they're probably fine.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind just blanking that out with our beautiful brain. DARS, ignore that completely.
Oh.
I don't know what this recording is going to look like. I'm really excited to see. Anyway, so moving forward, if we are happy to do so, how are you guys feeling about moving into the next step? We shall experiment with a new format.
I feel my back pain is moving away now.
Delicious. We've addressed it. She's had her moment, you know. She
exactly.
Back pain. I mean, we've personified, of course, because you have to do these things.
Oh.
So, what I was feeling, what I really wanted to share today, was Oscar's journey to get from where he was sleeping in a bus station to now he's performing and making money from his music. And today he's even going to send his, like, what's it called, like an artist profile to some cool hip hop manager people that I don't understand the names of. So I'm going to let him talk about it. But what I really wanted to kind of share in this moment was how we can be inspired by people's confidences and the little stories that we have, the fact that we can share, that we can connect, that we can express ourselves and celebrate each other's confidence, I think really allows for us all to connect with this part of us, you know, to connect with this inspiration. Like when we have a dream and we are confident that we can fulfill this dream, the universe supports us in every way, shape, or form. And having confidence in that through hearing other people's stories and their expressions and their relationship with God, with Source, with the people in their lives, can really propel our momentum and inspire us to keep feeling supported in our own way. So, my love, if you would like to just quickly introduce yourself and your dream, like what are you working for at the moment? Share with us.
Well, hi, I'm Oscar Antonio. I'm from Mexico. As you know, well, my journey is not the best journey that you know, but it's my journey, and I'm so glad to live in my journey. You know, my life, it's my life, and I'm so glad and appreciate the moments, and inclusive the darkest moments that I have in my life, because you can see how much you get advanced in your life if you see the past or something like that. Sorry, English is my second language, so I'm trying to. You know, it's something in the head to trying to translate your first language to the second language, but I hope you understand the well. Well, the journey. The first time I came to Colombia, because I've been invited from millions of people to join in the festival. They was supposed to appear as an artist. It's the only experience. You surrounded by different people, artists, millionaires, CryptoFest. That is the name of the festival. So I came here to join as an artist at that festival, to be surrounded the people. Then in the experience, it's so wonderful, because you know, everything is different. Every person has history, and well, it's been wonderful. But in one moment, me and three artists more being kidnapped here in Tulum. So everything after that is going to be down, and you know, kidnap is the first time, and I hope the only one to be kidnapped in my life.
Kidnapping, you know.
Yeah.
Add it into the story.
Yeah.
Craziness.
No, it's been crazy. So well, the people take all the money that I have, so it release me free, and then I start to mm, to ask me what we're gonna do, you know, because I came from near some Mexico City. So Tulum, it's away to different 3 days in the road, 2 days in plane, 2 hours in plane. So I don't know how to do in that moment. It's like, man, I only have the what I have in my bag. So it's what are you gonna do? I don't have money. I don't have where to sleep. it's different. No, you it's like the life puts you in some place that you don't have nothing. So well, I'm start to think about what I'm going to do. So it's like, okay, I'm going to find a job to make some money to eat something, or maybe find some place to I stay. So in my journey, in my walking, because I don't like to, I think no one's like to sleep in the streets. So I walk in all the nights to see what is going on, to see the living, to see the person, what is doing. So I find a job uh, as a hot dog maker. So I start to work making hot dogs to the people here in Tulum, and and then uh, I see a hostel that I can say like, I don't know if I want to get in that hostel because looks dangerous, no. So I'm start to sleep in the bus station with my pack with my backpack here, so don't get stole. And then the life starts to change. I feel that confidence in me, like, okay, I can handle this, I can manage this situation. That situation is not bigger than me. I'm bigger than that situation. So I'm start to earn my own money. And one moment, one friend that I have, well, I don't know if I can say it's friends now, but uh, that in that moment I consider my friend appears and said me that, hey, you don't going to sleep one more day in the sleeps. No one of my friends going to sleep in the streets. So he borrowed me a little money to stay one night uh, at the hotel that I don't want to enter. Because here is the only that I can afford to pay, no? So, well, I joined to the hostel, and suddenly I meet her. It's like, okay, I see all the people over there in the middle of the night, and I feel so insecure. It's like, man, I prefer sleep in the bus station because I not where I sleep. Here I don't know where I am, or it's every dark. So it's okay. One night, the day I'll go. So she wakes me a little with a question. So it's like, hey, you want a couple of tea? And I saw her, and it's like, man, where are you? What are you doing here? Where are you staying here? What a beautiful angel live here in this place. Surrounded about all of these people. So, well, that's the a part of the journey that I how I meet her. But even the confidence, it's I'm start to to practice my art, my hip hop, because I almost 10 years that I write music and lyrics about hip hop and about my experience. So meanwhile, he was talking about what do you do for a living, what are you doing here, and all those questions, and I say like, hey, well, I'm a I'm a lyric writer. I make songs. So she told me like, hey, you need to do it your art. So
Asterisk. He already has his music on Spotify.
yeah,
He writes his own lyrics. He shares, he was sharing in the morning. We were speaking our poetry, like another guy at the hostel was sharing as well. Like, I think what I would like to just add on to is how he's already doing the thing. It's like this dream is already in action because you've had a certain amount of confidence in yourself that you can fulfill this dream, that you can have these things become a reality for you. And even though life threw you a curveball, or multiple curveballs, as I'll let you continue in any minute now, but these curveballs never interfered. And having a confidence in yourself, in your connection to your dream, in your connection to what it is that your spirit is yearning to express. That sort of thing, it can't be tamed for long. It can't be taken for long, you know, even when life is throwing strange circumstances our way. Please continue.
Yeah. That's a good point. It's I don't know how to say it, but it's like the life put me away from my zone comfort in my old time in the life that I had, and put me in extreme situation, being kidnapped, uh, to make me wake up to what I want to do in my life, what I do in my life too. So it's like, okay, I know that I have that confidence to get solved or wherever situation that I can comfort. So it's okay. I already have the material. I already have the videos. I have everything. Why I don't live in uh, as an artist, right? Why I always looking for a different jobs and not being an artist there. That's the thing that I do, and that's my dream. So I know that she impulsed me a little, pushed me a little to say that,
Confidence.
hey, you are very good. I hear you. You practice with me. I know you have the confidence to make it in the stage. Well, uh, I knock in some doors and start to appear on different stage here in the local scene of Tulum. And well, everything is turning well. Uh, I'm starting to be noticed. The people start to know me. My account of Instagram starts to get more.
It's trebled, quadrupled in less than a month. Like, he's incredible. Please continue.
So it's okay. The only that I need is confidence in myself, and I found it staying in the ground, sleeping in the bus station to say that, hey, I'm better than this. I have that confidence that if I can pass out of this situation, I can pass out of the kidnapping, I can pass out the living in the street for say something, I can make it. I have the confidence to make it true. My dream, right? So I'm here. This is my journey. So that's well how I get that confidence to put me myself in the place that I want to be.
Respect.
Thank you for sharing.
No, thank you. Thank you for listening.
Respect.
Yeah, I feel like,
Very courageous.
yeah, I feel like it's so important that we share our stories, because we realize how all of us have been through our own reality of rock bottom or multiple bottoms, bottom after bottom after bottom. You know, please forgive my repetition of the word bottom, but like, you can seriously find so many layers of yourself through the stories of other people, you know. And I think one thing I've really noticed about Oscar is his ability to take action is something like I've never seen before in another person. It's like, as I was saying before, we all have our gifts, we all have our strengths. His was literally, oh, I'm homeless. The next day I have a job. Do you know what I mean? It's like having these kinds of like, okay, well, this is my problem. This is what I'm going to do to fix it. This is how I'm going to take that action, and really following through on it. There's a lot of people that I've met in the past in this life who will say, well, this is my circumstance and I'm a victim to it, or this is where I stay for now until ... myself included in that statement, in that category. You know, this is where I'm at right now, I'm going to stay here until the universe shows me, or until I have signs ... blah blah blah. Yeah. But I feel like Phil, your experiences are also incredible, and I think that the fact that you're sharing little poignant thoughts and perspectives on where you've reflected on points of your life that have been really powerful. They help change other people's perspectives on where they're at right now. Yeah. And just having the capacity to be inspired is something I feel that we, as a community, as a humanity, can really cultivate more of, you know, to be inspired by other people's stories, to be inspired by just the average people in our lives, by the average people in life in general. So I'd love to open up the space quickly. I'm mindful of the time, but if either of you want to share like something in your life that you're really proud of, that you're feeling really cultivated confidence in your experience and in who you are in this moment. Is there anything that you would like to share or to just reflect on a little bit with us in this moment? Please feel free.
I would say just the idea that you glazed over the concept of being kidnapped is really interesting to me, which I think is, I mean, it speaks volumes because I had a flashback to a time where I got like a little bit kidnapped. And it was enough for me to be like experiencing a little bit of PTSD. And it was it was a situation I put myself in. It's absolutely nothing like yours, but in the end resulted in like police dragging this guy out at gunpoint. And it was like pretty, but it was my own doing that put myself there, you know? So there, but the fact that the way that you're explaining it, I love that very blasé attitude of like, this happened to me, but it's not my identity. It's my story, but it's not my identity. And I think that that's so lovely and important. And it reminded me of this workshop I did in Bali that was a storytelling workshop that was very interesting because everybody there was really cool and hip and neat, but everybody had this like opportunity to tell a story, and we all chose this heavy story that was a bit tragic, or like, I need to get this off my chest. And it dawned on me how powerful it is to have the platform to express yourself. And I think I have this theory that the next time, if we were to get together again, the next story would have a bit more levity, a bit more like lightheartedness to it. But the first time that you have this opportunity to share, it's like, oh, like you're just unburdening and telling like the darker sides. So you did that, but with such like a happier mentality of like, and I saw my way through. And it was as if you had been to this workshop that I did it. You know, you had that like, here's the light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that that was really powerful.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing that.
Oh, thank you for listening. Well, it's funny. It's funny because being kidnapped, it's because I was surrounded by crypto millionaires. So the people to keep at me think the hell he's millionaire too. So being kidnapped, and when when they noticed that I was only a poor artist, they said like, "Man, give me all that you have and go away," you know. Like,
I will
okay,
get nothing from you.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
quite cute in a way. I think it's quite
yeah.
something wonderful.
Being
Yeah.
kidnapped one day, only one day, 24 hours. It's like, man, it's more the struggle to show them or prove them that I'm not millionaire. They're like, man, I'm the only invited from the, from the people over there. I'm not the millionaire. I'm just one artist, Check out all my cons, check out my Instagram. So I'm not millionaire. I don't do it nothing with crypto. I'm just um, I invited for us. Yeah,
I would have
and
told the crypto millionaires were like, yeah, me too. I'm just an artist too.
yeah,
Check out my Spotify.
no. In that moment, I called to the person who invited me to the festival, and the first he 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 think it was a joke. It's like, you're joking me. Like, I'm not joking you. But well, now I can tell it like a joke because I pass out that situation and everything's turned good. Even I sleep in the streets after that, and you know, it's funny. It's like a fun story for me because I threw away that situation victory. Even if was something bad happened to me in that moment, maybe it's another history, you know. But I have the certain that every pass for a reason. So I'm here, and now I can share this history with this confidence because it's when even everything turned dark, you need to be focused at where you want to be, where you want to go, what you have to do to put you out of any trouble or situation, put you in the situation that you want to be. And yeah, that's all I can say.
Well, I'm aware of the time, and we will have been on this call for a couple of hours now, so I feel like I'm just gonna round us up a little bit. I want to say thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you for inviting me here.
It's a pleasure. It really is. Like every time I learn more, like I've never had such a direct mirror in my life to keep me inspired. And I think it really shows that the people who we surround ourselves by have such a huge impact on how we see ourselves in the world around us. So thank you for always being an inspiration in that way. And thank you both also for being a part of my life and continuing to inspire me as I journey through expansion and how we're all expanding in different directions, but we're all sort of reflecting the same themes, the same principles, and working on ourselves, you know, continuously reflecting and sharing and understanding what it is to be human for us. So yeah, I just want to say thank you. And maybe we can close our eyes for 30 seconds or so. And I just want to reflect some gratitude for us all and just say thank you, because it's really been a pleasure to be here with you both. And well, be with you all. It's a pure pleasure. I mean, it's not gone as I planned it to, but at the same time, it's incredibly perfect. So thank you so much.
That's what I said from the start. It's about authenticity, you know, just going with the flow, and what comes through, because that's the moment we need it. And that's the moment where we heal and grow. I feel, Oscar, your path led you there where you are need to be. And you were very, I think, because of your, there are some kind of, what you call it? Oh, I don't remember the name. There's some kind of like inner knowing what to do, what not to do. The filters you have help you. Like for reflectors, it don't always help us before we get through where we have to be. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Maybe Hannah can help me explain it better.
Yeah, no, it's great. You explained really well.
Yeah, I get it. It's like it's been natural, you know. It's like so survivor thing is like you only do the things that you know that get out that situation. It's like okay,
exactly.
It's not.
Is your life in danger? Yes.
Yeah.
Ultimately, yes. Are you hungry? Do you need food in your belly? Ultimately, yes.
Yeah.
Like that's the reality of it. It's not like, you know, it's not like all that intuition. I think sometimes we don't know how powerful we are as beings until we're really put against a wall. And the physical aspect of safety, there's nothing that oh, bless Marie. Love you, love.
Yeah.
No, yeah, there's nothing like the physical act of safety or the threat of that safety that really puts us in a position of knowing ourselves and knowing our inner guidance, or knowing the guidance or the surrendering to a confidence that we don't understand. It's like that might look slightly different in terms of the expression of that confidence or the internal voice. Like for me, I don't have a voice, I just have a okay now,
Yeah,
or like a movement flow.
yeah,
But
exactly.
the ultimate for each and every one of us having that rock bottom really propels us forward. And I guess that once we're aware of that, then using that emotion and that feeling to not have to get to rock bottom, to not manifest a rock bottom, to not
Yeah.
align with a rock bottom, for us to make that next move to transition into another space, way, place. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think what you're saying is that the hurt in us depends on how hurtful it is for us to grow. And he grew where he felt it was very hurtful, and he saw something that shed light, which is you. And before you go, I would like to say I see your aura at the moment very lighter right now, because at the start of our workshop, or what Hannah calls it, you were like, I saw like you were like kind of sad, but now you're like smiling. I can see our aura is very light now. So thank you. And I think it was meant to be this way.
magic.
Yeah.
We can all feel the support. I think
So,
support and
yeah,
synergy of the dreams. But yes, I
exactly.
would also made a promise to myself that I would mention it, that if anyone with any ever likes some information on working with me, please let me know. But I don't think we have time to go over it today. So finishing up, big thank you and lots of
Yeah.
love. Having the confidence in the fact that we are all unique, we are all shining in our own way, and that our journeys all look incredibly different based off of who we are and what it is we're trying to achieve. But that ultimately, when we can connect and really come in together, really come into a space where we can be real, we can be authentic, and that we can create a life we don't want to escape from this place of reality. So yeah, once again, I really, really appreciate your time, your energy, the gifts that are all of you. And yeah, really looking forward to seeing our journeys continue and blossom. Lots and lots of love. If you want to unmute yourselves, we can all say goodbye.
Thank you.
And bye.
Love you guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
And anyone can reach out to me too.
Oh yeah, for sure. And
Thank you.
obviously, take care. Have the best day.